Hey everybody, welcome back to TPS. The Alliance of American Football was only able to recruit a handful of former NFL talents for its inaugural season. But if business continues to boom, Charlie Ebersol and Bill Polian must get to work in trying to recruit more former NFL players to help them enhance their product. It wouldn't be easy recruiting retired NFL legends to join their league, but there are plenty of these guys who could really shine in the AAF if they were to give it a chance. I'm Justin Fraction, and today we present 10 retired NFL players who could star in the AAF. At TPS, we post videos every single day, so don't forget to click the subscribe button to subscribe. Then click the notification bell to be notified when we post a new video. Number 10. Martellus Bennett. Nagging shoulder and hamstring injuries cut Martellus Bennett's 2017 season short, and he opted to retire in the offseason in order to work on his own production company. It's a shame that injuries and frustration seem to steer Bennett, one of the league's more productive tight ends of this era, out of football for good. Maybe Bennett didn't like the toll that football was putting on his body. Maybe he was angry about his unproductive tenure with the Green Bay Packers. That's for another day, though. The point is this: we'd love to see Bennett give the AAF a chance. Bennett would shine as a premier run-blocking tight end and as a pass catcher. He'd be less prone to injury, playing in the AAF instead of the NFL. He's given himself a full year now to rest his body and stay healthy, so we know Bennett still has more than enough in him to be an AAF star. Number 9. Carson Palmer. After leading the Arizona Cardinals to the 2015 NFC Championship game, Carson Palmer showed his play regress significantly. He dealt with a concussion in 2016 and missed the bulk of 2017 after breaking his left arm. Palmer ultimately decided to retire at the age of 38 following the 2017 campaign. Well, Palmer has had plenty of time to rest up and give his body that much-needed break. If he suddenly decides to give football another go after initially retiring, a la Kerry Collins, Palmer should have his eyes set on the AAF. Obviously, Palmer's age and health had to be the key reason for his decision to retire, but the AAF isn't anything close to being as physically punishing as the NFL. With their rules and systems, the AAF essentially helps quarterbacks avoid taking the brutal hits. Palmer was still playing some good football in his final 2 seasons with the Cardinals. Though he may not be in tip-top shape, there's no denying he'd be able to thrive in a league whose players obviously aren't at the same level as NFLers. Again, the key here would be for Palmer to trust that he can stay healthy, even in the AAF, but if the desire to play football again comes around, the 5-time Pro Bowler will have no problem finding an interested AAF team. Number 8. James Harrison. The former Pittsburgh Steelers Pro Bowl linebacker won 2 Super Bowls and was named the 2008 Defensive Player of the Year. And though James Harrison's tenure with the New England Patriots was brief in 2017, he sure looked like a young man trapped in a 39-year-old man's body. Harrison sure did a fine job fighting off Father Time. He nearly helped the Patriots win Super Bowl 52 over the Philadelphia Eagles, using his 255-pound frame to dominate in the trenches. Harrison still looked fresh enough and extremely motivated to keep making an impact. With that, it's easy to believe that Harrison would be able to succeed in the AAF. It may be hard adapting to their rules, but if he was still able to perform as a 39-year-old in the 2017 season, why wouldn't Harrison be able to wreak havoc in the AAF? Love him or hate him, Harrison is hard to ignore on the field. He's an absolute workhorse. We love to see him turn back the clock and try to play in the AAF. For what it's worth, former teammates Hines Ward and Troy Polamalu have prominent positions in the league office. They'd probably love to help Harrison find a job in their league. Number 7. Matt Forte. A 2-time Pro Bowler, Matt Forte was among the NFL's best running backs during his tenure with the Chicago Bears. Forte rushed for 1,000 yards 5 times and also did plenty of damage as a pass catcher in the backfield. He retired after a frustrating and unproductive 2017 season with the New York Jets. But consider that Trent Richardson is shining in the AAF, and if he's one of the greatest draft busts in recent memory, if Richardson can produce like a superstar in the AAF, why can't Forte do the same, even if he's in his mid-30s? Forte's body definitely carries a lot of mileage, and he dealt with numerous injuries at the end of his NFL career. But of course, the competition is weaker in the AAF. Forte could easily return to football and challenge guys like Richardson for the league's rushing title. Number 6. Kurt Warner. Man, does time fly. It's been almost a decade now since Super Bowl champion, league MVP, and Hall of Famer Kurt Warner retired from football. He walked away after the 2009 season despite another dominant campaign with the Arizona Cardinals. Well, Warner has been out of football for almost 10 years now. His body has obviously been rested up, and one has to think he'd be able to succeed in the AAF, especially given the weaker competition compared to the NFL. Interestingly, during the 2018 offseason, Warner revealed that he thought about trying to make a comeback at the age of 47. An unnamed coach and Warner's wife encouraged him to attempt a comeback, but it obviously never materialized. Well, just think about this. The AAF has a rule that bars teams from sending more than 5 players after the quarterback. That means Warner wouldn't have to worry so much about absorbing so many sacks and hits. The AAF is trying to encourage more offense by limiting the blitzes. The fact that Warner is somewhat considered an NFL comeback goes to show he's still in good shape, and he has plenty of confidence. Why not head to the AAF, Mr. Warner, where the rules are designed to help quarterbacks really dominate while putting defenses at a disadvantage? Just think about that. Number 5, Darrelle Revis. For NFL quarterbacks, simply losing that one step is all it takes to embark on a steep decline. Darrelle Revis is one of the NFL's elite corners from 2006 to 15, but when 2016 rolled around, wide receivers were easily burning him in coverage. Revis tried reviving his career with the Kansas City Chiefs in 2017, but to no avail. Future Hall of Famer and best cornerback of his era rightfully decided to retire. Revis had simply lost too many steps to keep up with the NFL's top wide receivers. It was time. Obviously, AAF players aren't as fast and dominant as NFL players. Revis, for all we know, could be an elite lockdown corner in the league with players who obviously don't match the skills of NFL wideouts. For Revis, it was impossible to keep up with Pro Bowl receivers like A.J. Green, DeAndre Hopkins, and Sammy Watkins. Well, the AAF obviously doesn't have guys with those skill sets. We could be very wrong here, but Revis just might succeed in the AAF. Heck, maybe better off playing the league safety position. Either way, this future Hall of Fame inductee might just have enough gas left in the tank to be a superstar in the AAF for years to come. Number 4, Michael Vick. The greatest dual-threat quarterback of all time, dazzled the NFL for over a decade. It's disappointing that a string of injuries and a decline in production affected the final years of Michael Vick's career, but hey, we're confident that the man can still play. In his final season with the Pittsburgh Steelers in 2015, Vick still made some big plays. Sure, he's pushing 40 and obviously doesn't have the lightning-quick speed anymore. But it's Michael Vick, folks. This man is still faster than the guys who are trying to bring him down, and he could be an absolute stud in the AAF. This league, of course, is designed for more offense and less defense. With his skill set, Vick would easily fit their mold. It's pretty simple for Vick if he wants to play football again. He'd surely land a job from their teams in an instant. Teams would obviously be interested in Vick for PR's sake, but he'd have the chance to emerge as an MVP caliber player in Charlie Ebersol's league. Just think about what Vick would do for TV ratings too. But the bottom line is that he could easily succeed in the AAF. That is, if Vick wants to give it a chance. Number 3, Cam Chancellor. The former Seattle Seahawks Pro Bowl safety announced his retirement due to a nagging neck injury. Even though Chancellor was playing at an elite level for the Seahawks prior to his retirement, the 4-time Pro Bowler simply decided to prioritize his health first. Well, it's reasonable to believe that Chancellor could reconsider playing for football again if his neck fully recovers and if he gives his body enough rest. Perhaps in 1, 2, or 3 years from now, Chancellor will decide to give it another go. Now, Chancellor might want to avoid going back to the NFL since it puts a huge toll on your body and a serious injury can happen at any moment. But the AAF is obviously less physical, less punishing, and better in terms of player safety. Chancellor would be one of the AAF's elite players. He's one of the best ball hawks and cover safeties of all time. Even if he was out of football for some time, nobody should doubt that he'd still be a huge impact player in the AAF. Again, this would come down to Chancellor's desire to play again, and if he thinks his neck injury is fully recovered. Surely if he were to head to the AAF, Chancellor would be quite the dynamic game changer for whichever team snatches him up. Number 2, DeMarco Murray. For a guy that earned 3 Pro Bowl nods, 1 rushing title, and Offensive Rookie of the Year award, DeMarco Murray sure didn't last long in the NFL. He only played 7 seasons, retiring after the 2017 campaign, following a year with the Tennessee Titans. Murray had lost his starting job to Derrick Henry and was released in the 2018 offseason. But folks, it was only back in 2016 when Murray had accumulated 1,287 rushing yards and 9 touchdowns. He stayed relatively healthy for the bulk of his career too. If an AAF team wanted Murray, he'd be fresh and in primary shape to suit up and hit the field again. Even though he struggled in his final year with the Titans, Murray was still displaying excellent speed, agility, and quickness. This is a guy who may not be fit to play in the NFL again, but the AAF is a different story. Like we said with regards to Forte earlier in this video, Trent Richardson is doing just fine in a less competitive league. So you'd have to think Murray would be able to do wonders in the AAF as well. We think there's some football left in him, and if he has a desire to play again, Murray should have his eyes in the AAF. And number 1, Calvin Johnson. Football fans and pundits were shocked when Megatron retired at the age of 30 in 2016, despite logging an 88-catch, 1,214-yard season. Even though he showed no signs of slowing down, Johnson said that he had taken too much of a beating. On top of that, Johnson also admitted that the Lions being nowhere near to a Super Bowl contender was another reason he retired. He didn't think it was worth putting in time and work just to play on a perennial losing team. Well, Johnson has been out of football for 3 years now. His body has to be rested up by now, and we have zero doubts that he could still be a force on the football field. Megatron would be an absolute stud in the AAF, shredding defenses as non-NFL players try to cover a perennial Pro Bowler and future Hall of Famer. Obviously, Johnson is content with retirement and is most likely done with football, but that doesn't mean he wouldn't shine in the AAF. If he were to go there, Johnson would easily be the face of the league, period. Which other retired NFL players do you think could start in the NFL? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you guys next time.